We should be back now. And
Are we back?
are we back?
I will reload the page. We are back.
Okay, so apparently it'll be buggy in some issues. That's actually the first OBS bug I've ever run into myself that I'm aware of. Yeah, everyone talks about it being buggy. It's the first one I've run into. So, let's jump into the mission. I think no, we were gonna have another scene.
Nope.
Adric and Grind.
I have a quick acquire asset as well. I do want to actually get some decent amount of rage essence, but yes.
Okay, so let's see how much you can get in time.
That's
Decent amount. What is a decent? Is that a barrel? Is that a cartload?
Like a
what are we
handful.
talking about?
I don't see any need to
Super
spike the
soaker
whole crowd.
full
If I get a couple of people out there who fail the resist and can't stop until they're all broken and can't tell friend from foe, just even about 2 or 3 of those in a crowd of people will probably make enough problem.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get as much as I can, but I'm not going to dump it everywhere. I'll dump it in a couple of places.
Okay, so, how are you acquiring it? Oh wait, no, it's just crew tier. So
It's
you were
just-
acquiring it by acquiring it with your tier.
Exactly. Yes.
Roll 2 dice. Unless you have something that helps you acquire stuff better.
No. Is there a specific button for this? No, not
We're
really,
rolling the tier. I think it's on the crew
Yeah, so-
sheet.
Crew mode, bomb dealers.
I think it's just a fortune roll, actually. Unless you can actually... No, you can click tier.
Oh, you can click your tier?
Ah, I see it. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Cool. 5.
Good.
That is equal to your tier. So magnitude 2. Now, magnitude 2 in this case, let me go look at the magnitude part of the rules. Here we go. Scale, tier, and magnitude. You can affect up to, you have 12 doses plus your own. So you can affect up to 12 people. The medium gang's
That'd be a
worth of
baker's
people.
dozen there, Bob.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Mhm.
Actually, how much is 3? Because I would.
If you tier it up, to get it to higher 20 people, and then up
Sure.
again because you can keep spending it. I think 40,
I
80,
only have 1 coin myself, and
160.
wait, what?
What?
Yeah.
Magnitude goes
4
from
is 160?
from 12 to
6.
20 at 3, to 40 at tier 4, to 80 at tier 5, to 160 at tier 6.
I'm willing to sell my future cat cafe for this.
No, you're not trading your cat cafe so Adric can explode in rage. No, we're not.
I'm not doing this. Other people are.
But no, you just spent a last year doing rage. No.
Exactly, so I know how effective it can be.
Listen,
It's not that
you don't
bad.
Want anyone
Tolerance.
other
I
than
can
a
manage
dog
it.
to
I
go
can
see
stop when I want to, and that means they can stop when they want to.
you. Even though part of it is you don't know when to
Mechanically,
stop.
you cannot stop when you want to.
No, 20 is good. I won't spend a crew coin on this because there's
No,
some
The
do it.
12.
Spend the
12 is
coin.
what you have. So you could upgrade it from
No, I
12.
spent 1 of my
Oh,
coins.
you
to
did
fetch
already
20.
spend a coin. Okay.
Do we
Yeah.
have crew? Listen,
We
I'm
have
so
3
down
crew
for
coin for which I just got us, so I don't feel that bad using it.
I want so many people
You
just
didn't
fighting
give
in
us
the
anything.
streets.
You guys got paid in drugs, basically.
No, the 3 coin that I just got us was the silver nails just now.
Yeah, you're gonna spend it all on drugs.
Spend it on the drugs.
If we up it
All of the
twice,
money.
that's from 20 to 80.
Yes.
20 to 40.
Twice.
just-
If you up it 2
Twice
more
is
times
20.
from now.
Let's just spend 1 coin, up it to 40, and that seems about
Okay.
accurate to what the group is.
So
pushing me
much
towards.
wages. It's
That- Yeah, that's gonna be a
That
thing.
means there's 40 people.
40
that's gonna
people
be
on
in the
murder
street
cocaine.
that are gonna be murdering everyone for us.
Why is that's also a really good question. Not a lot of poisons, plenty of murder cocaine.
I don't know, but congratulations. And yes, no, this probably if it's this probably is a crate, a stuffed large crate of rage essence. There we go.
Alright, well, good enough
We
for
don't
now?
have,
That
we're,
works.
we're not actually going to use it on the job. This is just a year's supply for
Yeah.
Edric.
This is if this goes.
Like,
this
your
is if
supply,
this
that's
goes
only
to shit.
40 doses. I don't know.
Patrick's eyes are going to turn red and then not turn back for 40 days.
That's if the demon blood doesn't get me first. Anyhow, I don't
That
even
is-
need rage essence anymore.
You have
There.
demon blood.
Yeah, the demonic infection is still there.
Turning
Okay.
into Charlie Sheen.
I have no idea who that is.
Is there anything else that we want to do before we
Yes, I
start?
do still want to talk with Grimes.
Okay.
Actually, if we can kind of like time skip back, just to Kellen's. Actually, if Grimes left the table at any point, I'd like to, corner him in a hallway,
Mhm.
and yeah,
Okay.
just ask. You said this was an upgrade.
Yeah. Publicly, yeah, that's what I said.
You did this to yourself voluntarily. You didn't die.
This seems like people in glass houses throwing stones, Edric.
At what point did what I did make you think that this was a good idea?
Oh, you were not the inspiration. Listen, Edric, I was never the physical type. These jobs we have been pulling were not for some quick thinking on our parts and some rather rough medical training. We would be dead 1,000 times over.
Exactly. You weren't the physical type. That was my job.
Yeah.
Why
And I
wasn't
suffered
I
for
good
it.
enough?
Edric, you're plenty good enough.
Then why did
But-
you go out and do this?
Because my goals lie further than those of the Fusewrights Union. We cannot. The government took everything from me. That day when Sarah died, I was powerless. And I floated for a while. Eventually I met Hicks, and we made bad decisions on our own. And then, eventually, the Fusewrights Union came. And the Scotland refugees. And through them I saw an instrument with which to strike back with my vengeance. But I do not see that going any farther than the city. My quarrel, while striking at this city, is a good band-aid. My quarrel lies with the heart of this darkness. The Emperor himself. And one man, one mortal man, is never going to achieve that end.
That's what the Fusewrights Union was for. That's why it didn't have to be just one person. What you've done isn't something you can undo.
No,
And I hope you don't regret this choice.
I was damned on the night of the long farewell. What happened to me from that point forward doesn't matter, as long as I can achieve this goal. I would think you of all people could understand this. Molding yourself into the weapon to plunge into the heart of your enemies.
I didn't have a goal before the Fusewrights Union. You have thrown everything away for it. I hope it's worth it. And I'll wonder.
Okay.
Hey.
So do the two of you in the same continuation have go back into the bar? At least one of you does.
Yeah, I do.
Not matter
Yeah,
much.
we're still around.
Anyway, the crux of the point I was getting at was that what you walk back into from your more intimate private conversation about Grind's like decision to become a vampire, because this is the night after Hicks has got out of jail. He is at this point in the evening taken to standing upon one of the tables and is pacing back and forth, giving some grandiose speech about the prison complex system we have and how the Lord Governor thinks she can just hold people indefinitely that disagree with her, and on and on. And it's just like,
I'm beginning to see the reason that our plan got out.
I'm using things that happen to justify, like things are facts that I'm backfilling to justify.
Okay.
Speaking of which, do we want to go on a witch hunt in our crew spy before we go on this job, or not?
I personally think we should.
No. The best part of the
I wanna
whole
find out
there's
what
a
they
spy
stab
thing
me in
is
the
at the
heart.
crux. They fuck us over and we kill them and still achieve our goals like the heroes
Oh,
we
I'd
are.
also
Heroes is a strong term.
I would also be okay with just being stabbed to death by this nameless person. Like,
We
gonna-
like
know
during
they.
the fight. Like,
It's gonna
there's
be
so many
Henner. It's
possibilities
gonna
for
be
that.
Henner.
There's
No.
so many possibilities, and I'd rather find out in a more dramatic fashion than hunting for them.
If
Spencer, I swear to
Adric
God,
at least.
It's
Yep.
Heather.
It's
I
Henner's
will
cat.
say nothing.
it's Henner. You're gonna break my heart. It's gonna be Henner. I'm sorry, boss.
That's when you do the scene. You walk up to him, you kiss him, you slap him on the side of the face. You broke my heart, Henner.
If Adric again knows, in the spirit of paranoid, I'd rather not walk into the job without actually having,
Yeah,
cornered a couple of
if
people and
Grind
said,
has
"Are you
told
telling
anyone.
them?"
Also, the characters collectively have not confirmed there's a mole. We know more as an audience perspective.
Correct.
We've picked up on more clues because there's been a few different characters that have each seen small little clues and not
Mhm.
like we haven't strung them together yet.
Well, this
Yeah.
one was direct Grind knew, but
Grind
whether or not Grind
can
shared,
see no.
now
Yeah,
his
it's
persona.
there. I mean, it doesn't say it, but yeah, there is very likely like what's happening. There is no other alternative that he could know this.
We
Yeah,
haven't
the
had
other thing is like we have named NPCs in our game, but there's still tons of people we work with, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
We wouldn't, as characters, we would know all of their names. They would be, they would all be suspects.
Yeah, it would be a whole thing. It would be probably a downtime action, or a clock, a long-term project to find out who the spy really is.
Yeah.
The thing is, we've got 3 rep and nothing to do with it. We're about 4 rep and nothing to do with it, and we're about to go into our last score.
Yeah, I'd rather find out in like a dramatic reveal, just personally as a player, than as like, oh, we spent all this time. Like, if I knew there was more of the campaign ahead, I would agree with you. Yes, let's hunt this person out.
Okay, fair enough.
Can I use a rep to make a cyanide pill, please?
Yeah.
Just in case I need it.
I mean, you can
You
you
could
can
probably
acquire asset
buy
for it,
one.
and you just need to get a tier 4.
Yeah.
For a heart comp, that's for a heart comp pill.
Well, that's a heart
comp.
comp pill. I want something faster acting.
Something that's like, just give me a pill of bleach or something. Why don't you just use
Yeah.
your gun? I have to ask that first.
Because if it's a tooth, you don't need your hands. You just break your tooth. If my arms are broken, I need
Okay.
to be able to do it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that would end up being a tier 3 poison.
I think it'd be tier 3, yeah.
Yeah, tier 3 for cyanide.
Instant
too.
death. In
Yep.
tooth.
Tier 3.
I think that includes the installation thereof.
I would say it
You
includes
have your
it.
girlfriend do it.
Yeah.
She'll
No.
be thrilled with this idea.
No, she's not helping me. I want to go to the long night shift.
I'm sure she'll be fine with like, yeah, let me just
Just
install
some-
this
I
death
thought the
tooth.
organization is some back alley doctor at the docks who
Just
just
use my doctor.
pliers and a jar of these cyanide teeth. It's like, need a cyanide tooth?
You guys haven't been to your doctor in a long time, right?
We were at my doctor at the very beginning, but he was basically a veteran of the Scotland Wars. He'd get it.
That's true.
And I think you were with me when we went there.
Do you have a doctor?
Yes.
I do. We used him once, and
Where?
then Grind got medical things, and he has more dice. Yeah, Sawtooth
Yeah,
is
that's
his
gone,
name.
by
Oh.
the way.
If we
His
met
name
him
is
once,
Sawtooth. What?
if we met him once, I'll go to Sawtooth. Be like, yo, dog, you got any cyanide teeth? Can you make me a cyanide tooth?
He looks like he very much looks like the immediate expression on his face is, I can and I do, but I'm not supposed to say yes. This is what his face says. And he says, "Why don't you have a seat? And I will come to check on you in just a minute. Yes, be right back." And you can see like his last time you were there was kind of a mess. His field hospital. Now it's a lot. Now that the military pulled back, now that things are calm, pun not intended, he's managing it like it's still it's always going to be too busy, but it's not over. In a few minutes, comes back, closes the door, looks at you, he says, "We've met before, right? What's your
Once.
name?"
Zaid.
Ah, your friends.
I just show him my Scotland War tattoos.
I thought you were here with Adric, weren't you?
Yes.
Okay, not wrong. I ethically must ask why you need a tooth. You're not planning to use it on someone else, are
very
you?
dangerous job.
Okay, that's fine. I just was worried you would
Oh,
use
it's
it on
for
someone
you.
else.
Okay.
Yeah.
How? Just quick question, Doc. How am
Yes.
I gonna get a cyanide tooth into someone else?
You take the cyanide out of the tooth, and then you put it into someone else.
That seems like a really expensive way to buy cyanide.
It is,
Yeah.
but some people might anyways.
Mount the cyanide tooth on brass knuckles and you punch them in the mouth.
It's 5.
All right. There we go. By the way, are you still in contact with Adric? I tried to get a hold of him, but he seemed to have dropped out of.
I can pass along a message. He's
Adric,
a hard kid to get a hold of.
Yes.
But I can find him.
It was some months ago, so I'm not. Sorry, time got away from me. I've been keeping something from him or for him, like storing something here, confidential. You should know that about a year and a half ago it was stolen. He'll know what I mean.
So, a thing you were holding for him was stolen a year and a half ago.
Yes, and I had meant to tell him, assuming he would stop by. He used to stop by often, but he stopped.
We had a company doctor. Sorry, within
In-house healthcare.
in-house healthcare.
I see how it is. Okay, you're not happy with my service. He's obviously joking. He's obviously joking. And he's holding the tooth in like tweezers right now. And he says, "Now open wide. I want to hear an
I just take out one
ah."
of my teeth.
Oh, that's no fun. I wanted to be he's just like talking while he does this. He's like, I wanted to be a dentist before the war. Well,
You act like I haven't lost any teeth in the war. What do you think? I take punches to the face. I get a fake tooth.
most of the people here are not soldiers anymore. They're people who are after the war. Lots of the people arriving now. So not as many lost teeth.
Yeah, you do what you do to make money.
Now, don't mix it up with your regular teeth. I definitely also have to be careful not to mix my cyanide teeth up with my other replacement teeth. But I am careful.
So-
I label them.
Don't get into bar fights anymore, is what you're saying.
Yes, and I know that's a big thing for some people, but you'll do. You'll do okay without bar fights.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anything else that's wrong with you?
You physically,
Nothing.
no. Mentally, a lot. But you can't.
I'm not a therapist. I don't believe in that stuff anyways. Go
All right.
along.
See you later. Hopefully.
Not.
Make...
Oh,
What-
yeah.
That was rude. I'm not gonna use this right away.
I meant that, never. He tried to explain and then gives up explaining.
Yeah. when I get back to wherever we're staying, I go, Adric, Sawtooth says something he was holding for you was stolen a year and a half ago.
I legitimately have no idea what.
Adric might have forgotten too. It's great.
Oh, good.
Okay, I will just say at one point, this is just something that actually doesn't matter. But at one point, I think he was holding a sample of your blood.
Oh yeah.
And I will say this because there's no way to find this out now. Mercy stole it to get the power up. That was one of the ingredients that they used to unlock the power ups a long time
Makes
ago.
sense.
Great.
And then he was going to tell you when you went back, and you never did. So
We dealt with that problem.
yep.
She falconed you. All right.
Yeah. No. We'll go with I completely forgot about it and moving on.
Yep. Anything else?
Yep, I'm gonna tinker us up some vitality potions.
All right. So you don't have the alchemist ability anymore, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I don't automatically get a plus tier, but let's find out what.
It's tier
know-
3 for a vitality potion.
Since I didn't get our scientists, they could help you.
1 coin would upgrade it.
Okay, so that's 1. Do we want any more?
I think that should be good. I'm fully healed. I think most of us are fully healed.
I'm fully
Yeah.
healed and don't care
You
about
can
tier 1
you can
stuff.
drink this and get 4 ticks on the clock immediately. So you get a bad wound, you drink this, and all your harm goes down.
I
Yep.
would say get one more. Like it's never gonna hurt. And what else do we have to spend it on?
True.
Should I add a no-load cyanide tooth item to my list?
Yeah, 1 more coin. We got 2.
I think we know it's there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's there enough for the fictional positioning. It doesn't matter on the list because you die after you use it.
Mhm.
Now,
So
now on a horrible fail where you're getting hit.
oh, I think this is fodder. Devil bargain your cyanide tooth collapses as you punch them in the face.
I'm not going to devil's bargain it, but yeah, on a horrible failure with you specifically already saying you were aiming for the face, you could still resist that.
Yeah, you can obviously resist it, but or it's just like the recoil of the shot cracks your tooth if you throw upon.
Yep.
All right, so that stuff won't work on vampires, so whoever wants one of those, take it. I'm sure Adric, probably a good idea for you to
Yeah.
have that.
That
I think
does
we could
sound
just
like
have
a good
the last one floating in the ether
Until
because
someone uses a load for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Can I actually have distributed half of 40 files of Rage Essence just among the meowing shift that was hired
I
on?
forgot we renamed them.
Okay. Oh yeah, the meowing shift.
I can do some of this, but let's get them doing some of this too,
Okay.
And
so that
and
we're not holding a crate
congratulations,
around.
congratulations for how casually you threw that name out there. By the way,
The rest of us didn't make it.
Meowing
That's great.
shift.
Okay, so yes, you can spread it out and you tell them to see anyone who looks a bit bigger and tougher, then dose them secretly while you give them the food.
No
It's
children.
not even that. I just want them to pour it in a pot. That's why I was having that research done.
Everyone.
Make
Okay.
sure that the concentration is right. But that's all I want you to do.
it's
Cool.
in the
Care about
slurpee machine.
concentration? I don't think concentration matters. Because it's better that a bunch of people have a little bit of it than
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how a roll
I
goes
do want them
when
to have
they do
enough
that.
so that they can not resist and fail both of those, break everyone, and just keep going, because that is the two effects that are just beautiful.
Let's see how it goes. So,
That's got to be.
I think we're ready. Choose your loadout.
Yep.
regular.
This
gotta
might be
go
the one to go
normal.
heavy.
Remember,
I can't afford to go heavy.
depending on where you are, if you're walking through the crowd, people will notice and start talking if you're in heavy. People will still kind of notice if you're in normal. People will not
And
notice at all.
normal
If
is
you're
like, oh, is that guy carrying a gun? But in heavy is like, oh my god, is that guy carrying 7 guns?
yeah, heavy is that guy might be an active shooter, And normal is, okay, that guy looks a bit suspicious, but okay.
Been heavily equipped for this occasion.
Yeah, better go with normal.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, heavy makes you slower.
And for this,
That's
that might
really
not be a
the
good
thing.
idea.
It's just that there's a downside for being heavy for very little upside.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
trick is if you're doing heavy and you drop, like, okay, I grab heavy for the extra load to have this rage essence on me, and
Yeah.
then I drop the rage essence. Am I still heavy? It's like, yeah.
Yeah. In this you are.
Yeah.
In
Also,
which
if
case,
heavy was
normal.
7, it would be a little bit
It'd be
worth
more
it.
worth it. Yeah.
Balance off on that.
Let's start the engagement roll.
Okay.
Okay, that's gonna be
So it's stealth,
Bad one.
right?
Stealth. I think that right now you're trying to get in place to kill her. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. That's what we're. Even if it transitions to something else, the engagement roll is anyways for how we start.
Yeah, of course.
So it's stealth to start.
The plan is a stealth plan.
Start at 1 for luck. Sheer luck.
Dumb luck.
Sheer
You're dumb luck.
really dumb luck. Okay. In this operation particularly bold or daring, I can't even say that with a straight
Yeah,
face.
Can we
Yep.
can we get 2
This
dice?
is attacking Superman with like a fly swatter. Where you got this.
no. If we get 2 dice for that, then the next one is definitely
I
minus
know.
2 dice.
Yeah,
That's
we
fine.
don't
Is it
wanna-
overly
we don't
complex or
wanna have that
contingent on many factors? It is contingent on many factors.
It's contingent
back at
on
what?
Skurlock being able to and
Skurlock,
friends being able to
The other people you've agreed on getting like their distractions right,
distract
getting
them
the
from
governor alone, like it's a whole thing.
first security detail isn't 400 people.
Exactly.
We're
So-
counting on these things.
Does it expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they are weakest? Actually, yes, relatively speaking. As Skurlock said, she is weakest here. She's not
I'm
weak,
proud.
but she's weakest relative to
Okay.
everything else.
Fair.
Which means they are not strongest.
they are not strongest against this approach, but they do have particular special defenses or preparations. Thanks, spies.
Should have took out the spies.
If any of your friends or contacts can provide aid or insight, they already did that. So 2.
Yeah.
Or enemies or rivals interfering in this operation. Down
No,
back to 1.
none. We have no enemies.
The
Yeah,
military
Costa's
would
there.
disagree.
The military, okay.
Can I argue for a simple +1 die for the sheer amount of chaos we are going to cause in the city?
That
I'm thinking that like we can negate tier with all that prep nonsense.
I think that's the big help. It negates.
Okay.
You have to spread them out. They are still having a significant force here. I think you
Yeah, we
don't.
are
I don't think you
making
negate tier. You negate scale. Basically,
Okay.
like they still have a number of people here, but they don't have 200 soldiers. They
Yeah,
have
the scale
a
of
mere
the
several
bodyguards
dozen.
are reduced from because the bodyguards need to spread out to help the situation. The blue coats that would be backup have spread out to help with
Yes.
other
Yes.
shit going on in
Like,
town.
When they hear about this, but they don't have radios. Remember that. So if they hear about this, they can't just instantly respond, which is also good. Now,
The increases are going extra. Look at all the chaos.
so 2 dice, I think, is what we're at.
I was at 1.
1 dice? Yeah, 1 die.
Yeah.
Plus or minus dice depending on other factors such as tier scale, situational advantages, or disadvantages.
Situational advantages 1.
This is where I'm thinking of all of the stuff we just did cancels out all of the stuff that would be thrown at us,
I think you're
and
right.
we just left with 1 die.
There's that, and everything else we've already taken account for.
It's just 1 die for sheer luck.
Should I roll it, or would someone else like to roll?
I think that
Do
this
it.
should be your roll.
I
Yeah.
Good
think
job.
this should be your rolls, man.
Okay, roll 1d6.
Till the end. This time.
Oh no!
Deal from now on.
Oh no!
Disadvantage.
Yay.
Next time you roll stats, I guess.
Listen, you're all gonna wish you had a cyanide tooth.
Whoever's GMing next, make sure Spencer's character dies.
I was actually very surprised how well my character got off in Burning. Burning.
Oh yeah,
Wheel.
we didn't gang up on you.
Okay. So this should be fun.
Yeah.
So is it that you guys are just planning to like walk into Charter Hall and walk into the festival area, right?
I think we were all
Yeah.
going to do it slightly separately.
Arrive
Yeah.
separately?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we arrived separately to reduce suspicion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So I think you guys arrive separately. I assume like Grind, you're taking your carriage.
Mhm.
Someone probably else arrives in the boat. I imagine you guys might still have the boat stashed somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Hicks that
Hicks.
arrives on the boat,
Okay.
firmly
I'm
dressed as a
prowling in
Leviathan hunter captain. He's
Yes.
got a hat, he's got a jacket, he's got some fake medals pinned to it.
Perfect.
Pretty
Um,
firmly dressed Leviathan hunter captain. You got this.
Good. I need to get a name right now because I know exactly what's happening. And I need to make 100% sure we have this dealt with. Oh, I hope I didn't lose that name. We'll figure it out later then. So, as you guys are arriving and walking in, as the first person who's walking by on foot, I think you see. Hang on. Some of your gang should be manning that stall. And some of your gang should be manning that stall over there. They're not.
Did the gang not get in?
And there's a sign there that looks like it's been made that says beware of people putting weird things in your food. That was not there amongst the plans. You did not see that until today. And I think what each of you guys are separated, which makes this even more fun. When in front of each of you, I think I'll go with soldiers, not bluecoats. A group of soldiers. For most of you, it's probably 3 or 4 soldiers per person. For Adric, they look like they're, for those who are walking, they're like shuffling their way. Actually, they're coming at you from behind. But you turn around and you see them like just a few feet from you.
We're
Adric,
skulking in alleys, so that makes
you're skulking in alleys. Okay, so then yeah, they.
I was trying to get on the rooftop.
They walk into both. They walk into both directions of the alley, and there's probably much more for Adric. Probably 6 on each side. On the rooftops, I think they're. I think in this case, you're on the rooftop you're onto. Like the door up bursts open, and a bunch of guards, soldiers there rush up. And Grine, you are. I think. Are you assume you're with Scarlock and the others? Physically with them as Empire carriage, or is he arriving separately? You're not sure how.
No, I think we'd probably go together. Yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense.
The carriage just suddenly comes to a stop early. You are currently over the bridge. Not sure how the whole running water thing is for vampires, but that's where the carriage stops. And there's a commotion outside, and I think that Syrah impatiently opens the door quickly to see what's up, and then immediately, like as fast as her reflexes allow, shuts the door quickly, looks around in real fear to all of you, and says, "There are Inquisitors out there. We've never seen Inquisitors before. We've just heard of them once. And I will describe them if and after you step out."
Mm.
But yeah, no, they're. Syrah is scared.
I'm just looking at Sarah and Skurlock, and I was like, "What is an Inquisitor?"
Skurlock swears in an ancient tongue, and then he says, "Let's call them vampire hunters."
So
Oh.
We're fucked then.
He thinks for a second and says, "We need to run." He just looks at Satara. Still, she's disguised as a human, so she doesn't make the carriage wet. And Satara like actually just rolls her eyes and says, "You better make sure I die, or you're gonna have to rescue me again."
Skurlock, I understand that you have not been with the Fusewrights Union before. We don't cut and run.
It's a good thing I'm not a member of the Fusewrights Union, then. Satara will distract them while I make my escape. Then she will die, and I will resurrect her again.
Just look over at Satara.
You have your choice between death
you're all right
and
with this?
escape. This time, he will owe me afterwards. I'm dying for him. So yes. Yes, I am. If you're done thinking, she starts opening the door to step outside. I advise you to flee. And, yeah, no, she's not gonna take any chances here. She full on, like, you see her, there's a blur, and then she is in her normal black-scaled, shark-faced water demon. And she just, like, roars into gleeful rage and charges the off-screen Inquisitors. Hear the sounds of fighting.
I assume the carriage is going to turn around and get the hell out?
No, the carriage does not. There's other carriages behind it. It's kind of blocked.
Okay.
And you actually, after just a second, hear the sound of shattering glass on the roof of the carriage and then sudden heat.
All right, yeah, I'm going to tuck and roll out the other door and try to disappear down an alley.
Skurlock is with you. He's going away, and he's just leaving Charter Hall entirely. But are you heading towards it, or are you splitting up from him?
I'm splitting up from him.
Okay.
I don't know where the rest are. I gotta make sure everyone's gonna make it out if we're bailing.
Yes. Depending on what everyone else is doing, we could actually make this a very desperate group action to... I don't know, this wouldn't be a group action to meet up, because you guys are intentionally separated. So we'll see who succeeds on meeting together. When you step outside and...
If it's a group action, we all have to use the same action, though.
Exactly. So I think we'll not do group action.
Yeah.
Brian,
And our situations are all pretty different.
yeah. You step outside, and you see that these Inquisitors are... They are not like the Spirit Wardens you saw before, who are more focused on ghosts. These people are wearing almost a thin metallic plate armor. They remind you actually more of medieval knights, not in their weaponry, but in how they're armored to prevent biting and slashing and things like that. They look like they still like are wielding similar weapons, like electroplasmic weapons and things like that. Things that are powerful. Vampires are weak to arcane attacks. Mm-hmm. So they have some kind of specific, like, pre-prepped ritual that they've managed to weaponize. Like, sort of the closest thing to a magic weapon that exists nowadays. Yes, Jordan.
So is it basically impossible to sneak in now?
No. Well, they know you're coming and they know you're here. That doesn't mean they'll always know where you are. They just knew where you were, what the plan was. It's not impossible. And in fact, Grind's about to try doing that. I will also say, Grind, currently the main person in the fight against Satara, you see a pair of hulls you've not seen before. Still thickly armored, though. These ones they look thin and very agile and quick. And they are probably, in addition to like the classic electroplasmic weaponry, their main weapon is probably, I would imagine, the Star Wars robots that General Grievous had as his minions that wield like electrostaves?
Yep.
On one side it's that, on the other side is a classic wooden stake.
So it's a spear with a wooden tip, and the other end is the
The other end is the electro staff part, yeah. And these things are fighting like trained fighters. The hulls have like honed assassin-like reflexes.
So it's assassin robots.
Yes.
And
They're fighting
soldiers
Satara. Yes.
And vampire hunters versus all of us who are squishy and not soldiers.
Yep, and that's why I'm going the other way.
Satara is fighting them. She is distracting them, which is good. So for now, it is just I would call it desperate, because if they see you, that's really bad. So it's still desperate, but you do have a chance to sneak past it all.
All right. So desperate.
And your effect here, I think, will be limited. You will sneak past, but they will actively be like, there's going to be more sneaking to do possibly later. They're going to be actively looking for you. They'll know that the vampires escaped.
Okay, I will use my fine shadow cloak to pump that up to standard.
Nice. I'm going to start some clocks.
And it was my intention to bring Kira with me, my bodyguard, as we do this.
Okay, that's fine.
So that's not a +1, though, is it?
No, it's only in downtime.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm sure there's all kinds of horrible things you could say, but Devil's Bargain?
Ooh, let me go check. I made a list of Devil's Bargains. You may okay, no, they're already in danger. That's not the case. Ooh. Okay. My Devil's Bargain is you escape them, but the Inquisitors have, even if it's not just because of this, but they end up learning, or have learned somehow, your new appearance, and are like, you're on their like secret wanted board of vampires that have to die.
Nah. I failed.
Can you go ahead and roll that d6 to see what would have happened?
No.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah, okay. Well.
Okay.
Do we want to see how screwed we all are?
Let's...
Yeah.
Yeah, we might just, like, cut to you guys in prison or something. Not in prison, but, like, captured.
Yeah.
It's great. Okay, who wants to go next to see if they get horribly captured?
Sure.
Oh, okay,
All right, we gotta go.
Adric. Okay, so yeah, you're in an alleyway. There's half dozen soldiers on each side, like, closing in on you. They are not taking any chances. They all have weapons drawn. I think just because the one in front on one side says, "One chance to surrender, Adric." Like, they know your name.
I'm going to mutter something obscene under my breath and use Ghost Veil to duck through the wall into the building next to me.
Nice. Okay. This is not an ability they would have known you had, because it's just something you used
I've
once.
Never used it before.
Yeah. You used it once, but they didn't. No one knew you used it.
No, I didn't even use it then.
You used it in the closet, remember?
Or did
Closet
you?
with the...
We
I
changed
was
it.
intending to, but I ended up. I don't need it right now.
Okay,
and
so
I
you've literally
use
never used it. Yeah, they couldn't have known about this. So they don't have arcane bullets or anything like that. But it's still, I think you still pay stress to do that.
Yes. And I know that I turned shadowy and insubstantial, so it's going to be hard to see, but I did not pay the extra steps to turn invisible.
Oh, so
My
they just see you
intention
like you
is, I
turn into
know they're
smoke.
going to be coming for me in this other building. I am looking to, hide and hopefully ambush them one by one. And I would like to flashback to stress to creating the rage essence to some sort of injector thingamajig.
You want to?
Oh.
You want to start turning them against each other?
Yes, I do.
Okay, getting a needle. I mean, yeah, you just need a needle, so 1 stress. That's fine. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so you reach in your pocket after you come out of your shadow form. And you
Yeah,
have the
and it doesn't cost an
glowing
extra
red-
load for the needle. It's just the
glowing
rage
red
essence in the
vial with
form of a
plunger
needle.
at the end.
Narratively speaking, Grind did used to use a blowgun with darts that are
True.
infillable.
I debated that, but this way I can use prowl. That way I have to use hunt. And
Fair. Okay. So yeah, they swear and say, "Go around into the building quickly!" And they're not like yelling like amateurs. They are actually speaking in like military terms. So they're like they're staying together they're not going in alone. They're staying together in groups of 2 or 3. They're tactically calling out when areas are specifically clear or not. They all have probably a sword in one hand and a pistol in the other. That's probably their best bet. And they're cautiously searching, start combing into the building. The building itself, gee, there's a random generator we've never used for buildings. Just a sec.
Ooh.
good. I trust random generators less.
Let's see what we've got. Streets and buildings. Marissa, do you want to roll me 2, 3, 5, 6, 8d6? It's 4
Oh,
tables.
okay.
2d6 per table. Okay, so a 1 and a 6. There we go. Okay, so it's made of gray brick, and there is landscaping around it. That's the first
to know.
generator.
The
The more
middle
important
city.
one is that it is a bakery.
You see how it does.
Who wants some
And-
rage cupcakes?
Oh, cool. And there is a hidden shrine or altar somewhere within it on the double 6s at the end. So this is a bakery owned by someone who secretly worships one of the forgotten gods. Somewhere in there. It's not obvious when you walk in, but I think
No, it's obvious. It's called Forgotten Pastries.
forgotten scones.
Roll another 2d6. I got the Forgotten Gods table.
All right. I misread the 55. Okay.
55. The dream beyond death.
Oh, that's great.
So they
Fantastic.
Speaking
they
of rage
create blessed
essence,
idols, artwork, ritual spaces, and artifacts. So yeah.
perfect.
They do that all in their cupcakes.
All in the cupcakes. Yeah, they make incredible, creepy cupcakes. And so you duck into this. They go around. The bakery is probably open for business given the fair, and there's probably several people in here. Like, I'm not sure what I want to get. Do I want this one or this one? Is that one chocolate or is it? Yeah, there are people discussing. There's people buying. It's a very busy bakery, and then a bunch of soldiers come in the back and front doors, bust down the door, tell everyone to get out, but also are checking everyone to make sure they're not Adric. So they check their heights. And then they
Oh, come now. I might have had a
You
growth
must be
spurt.
this tall to be innocent.
they are being very careful. And then they start combing
Assuming
the
I
now
was
empty building.
looking for a room where, where I could catch 2 of them as opposed to, 6 of them.
Yes.
Is that likely that I could find a spot with 2 of them?
Depends on the prowl roll. The answer, they are splitting up to comb the room. I did say that some of them are going in 2s or 3s, so you might find a pair.
Okay,
To see if
sounds good to me.
you can take them out quickly enough.
Okay, position effect, I guess.
Desperate position, because if they see you, they will just shoot. Or just stab you. Your effect here let me take. They are tier 6, doing the thing that they are built
Tier
to
5.
do. Tier 5, you're right. So I think before we include anything else except tier, no effect. Before you do that, just because they're too well between your training and the other things you can do to increase your effect, should be okay.
Actually, in this case, there's sadly not a whole lot.
Well, your fine weapons would still matter, don't they?
Not if I'm going into this with an ambush with Rage Essence.
Oh, that's fair.
I'm gonna call the fine weapons in with it anyways, because I have to hold one of them off while I stab the other one.
Yeah.
Try and get
Kill
it up
one,
to
stab the second one.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, and then we've got the quality tools, which is up to standard.
Yeah, in this case, that does matter.
Rage Essence
And-
is a tool, I guess.
Quality
Well, the
weapons.
syringe is technically a weapon, so yeah.
Either way, have
Quality
the
weapon.
Either way, you have quality.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's actually anything else in this instance. And honestly, if standard effect is the Rage Essence takes effect, that's all I need.
Yep.
Okay, let's give this a shot. Devil's Bargain.
My devil's bargain to you is that I am strongly considering. Yeah. The demonic infection fully manifests. What this will mean in the immediate future is simply that you will look recognizably monstrous in a way that is more than just Tycherosi. Okay, maybe the most extreme Tycherosi, like the guy with the snake for legs. With the snake body for legs.
Snake legs?
With snake
Yep.
with a snake lower half of his body. So like that level of extreme Tycherosi is probably the level. Like you would mutate in a significant physical way. For now. There'll be other stuff later, but
Well, I don't mind that. That's a bit of an extreme Devil's Bargain for this early in the job.
that's fair.
We'll see how this goes.
Okay.
Yay!
That is a 6.
Nice.
So
Okay.
you manage to kill one as you probably inject the other one as he's about to yell out. And then I imagine with the 6
ducking out as
I was about
best
to say,
I can.
on a 6, he starts chasing after you, but you with the 4 to 5, you duck out of the way where he starts yelling, but just in rage, and the others, another group of 3 find him, gain his attention of him without seeing you. He starts fighting them. It's pretty apparent to you that they're actually I think they're just gonna shoot him. Like there is some hesitation in like he's our comrade, but he's trying to kill us, and our military training means we're just going to kill him. One guy, Rage Essence, is good. He probably will take out another one of them, which will be 3 down out of the 12. But then they're going to kill him unless you do something to help.
I'm hoping to use this as a distraction to get away.
Get away.
Yeah.
Smart.
Get back into the crowd.
Okay.
If he
Then,
goes down, I have more.
Prowl to sneak out.
Okay. Position effect.
Position and effect here are still risky, and I think standard. Honestly,
Distraction.
you're short.
Okay.
You're short enough. Like actually, you're not that short, but honestly, once you're in the depths of the crowd, and it is a lot of people, then you'll be gone. It'll be very difficult for you to back down.
Oh, I want XP.
Do it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to push it to Desperate Great,
Make
by-
them chase you into the crowd and get lost themselves.
ducking right past the fight and the people who are there to actually get into the crowd and get to
Yeah, it's faster
have
to get
time
to the crowd
actually
there.
scope out, figure out what's happening. Where is any of you?
Yeah, it's faster. Okay.
All Right.
This is probably less the sneaky type of prowl and more the running type of prowl.
Exactly. And yeah, we'll just see how this goes. Okay.
Okay. I think one of them, the sergeant who said you have one chance to surrender, gets one shot off at you as you would disappear into the crowd. It's a good shot. He's a good shot. You take level 3
Ouch.
shot in probably like your lower back. Not to
Right in the
paralyze
kidney.
you, but yeah, something like that.
Ow. Okay, yes, sense is I'll start by armoring that. And I don't like that either. I will also, I think, resist it.
Okay.
Alright. Prowess. Poorly, I will resist it, but that's
Ooh.
not trauma yet.
Oh god, trumping out on this one's bad.
Yeah, no, this is the one score where I'm like, you guys really might just fail.
That's okay. That's fine.
That's
We're not
fine.
upset about failing. It's
Yep.
just that trumping out is bad.
Yes.
I am now
Trumping
out
out
of
just
stress
means you
is
can't be
basically what
part
that
of the-
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
You escape into the crowd.
Mm.
Brian, you were asking if you could resist the failure. Yes, you can. It's not the engagement roll. Yes, you can resist it.
What's part of the failure though? Is
Yeah, what is,
Nothing.
We didn't actually see what happened. You're right.
Yeah.
So I think in this case, it was.
you tried to hide with your cloak of shadows, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think they probably the failure might have been that they had something that could specifically detect like this weird type of vampire magic with the cloak of shadows, so it actually made it more visible to you.
Something electro-fake. Does the cloak of shadows turn you into shadow? 'Cause there's
It's
still-
I found a description of it. It's a fine Eruvian cloak that's like made of silk and stuff that helps you blend into shadows.
okay,
Yes.
helps you blend in.
so they just have a spotlight on the carriage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
they might have made it so there's no shadows. They might have just like turned on some spotlights they had hidden in windows or something like that.
Yep.
So I guess I will ask you how you resist that. Like they don't see you, but they try to with the spotlights.
I'll just keep booking it and like obviously the cloak's not working, so I'll just whip it off. He's wearing fine clothes and stuff, so he's just gonna go try to blend in with like the nobles
Mhm.
because the military is not gonna roust the nobles.
I just get the Batman scene where the stops dead in the spotlight and then darts off to the side.
Okay. Now, negating a failure is not a negative consequence, which is you being caught, does not mean you succeed. So I don't think you've quite blended in yet, if that makes sense.
Well, resisting the consequence is resisting the consequence.
Yes, what I mean is they don't physically catch you or capture you, which is what they were about to do. You are still free, but you're not blended in yet. I think they're still looking for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I think as you're around here, you see that they have people patrolling the rooftops on either side of the main crowd alley. From Adric's perspective, they might not be able to notice Adric, but they would notice you. This is not Inquisitors, this is soldiers, but
Right.
they definitely seem like they're working together here, as you see one of the Inquisitors yells to a group of soldiers nearby who were staying out of this what the situation was and to go after you. I think that they have formed a loose perimeter around what is the this portion of the entrance to the festival. You have to get it if you want to blend in. You got to get around that, get past it.
Okay. Okay. So we're ducking down an alley. I'm sure there's like tons of like detritus and crap around, right?
Oh yeah,
So I'm just
absolutely.
I'm just
Especially
gonna
on festival
book
day.
straight for one of the soldiers.
Mhm.
Point my hand to one side, pick up a box, and whip it down the hall, or whip it down the alleyway, and smash into them using Ghost in the
Like a
Machine.
potato to someone.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
So I will telekinetically throw shit and just bust through
You're
them.
just gonna. That's awesome. Yeah, I could see this as wrecking.
No, it's just I pay stress, and the object functions as a weapon. You break or damage something, you cause numerous objects to move.
That's great.
Let's see. So yeah, it's just telekinetically throwing crap at these guys to make them cover as I blast through.
Yep. I would still see it
We've been
as
playing Control. We know what that looks
it
like.
says you use them as a
Mm.
weapon, but to use a weapon to do this, I think it is still action roll though, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
give me the
Rec
picture
would
of
probably
the
I could
work.
see this as skirmish or
Yeah.
wreck. I leave it to you.
Yeah.
Because this is like they are.
Wreck obstacle with savage force. That
Yeah.
works.
Okay.
All right. Position and effect.
Your position here is still desperate. I don't like the Inquisitors are right behind you. So if these guys even slow you down, they might catch up. Your effect here, though, I think is normal. Like these guys are not. This is a big crate, and you're telekinetically moving it. Soldiers are good against gunfire, not you.
No bonus dice. That's a 6.
There we go. Okay, so it happens exactly as you hoped. They duck for cover after the crate, and probably almost with the crate itself, you've come flying past them. And they look up, and the Inquisitors round the corner and just start like tearing the soldiers verbally to pieces. Of like, yeah,
This is why you're tier 5 now, damn it.
yeah, exactly. Okay.
Very nice.
So, I think next, let's see, Hicks.
Yeah.
Hicks, do you think that they would catch up to you while you're on the boat, or is it right after you park
Oh, I
the boat?
picture I get waylaid on as I walk in from the pier section.
Yeah, like, two people. I think one person shows up right in front of you, like, and one soldier is
Maybe
right
not
behind
then.
you.
Just to clarify, I can feel safe in saying they did not send the whole platoon after
Not
me,
for
like
you,
they did
no.
Adric, or the mechs like they did for our vampiric friend.
Yes.
No, they sent like 2 guys with a sharp stick.
Not with a sharp stick. 2 trained soldiers
Yeah, 2 like
to arrest
cops
you,
or whatever.
and
Military
one is in
police
front.
or
Like, one sees you dock. At first, when you first you're like, they were waiting there for you, but it looked at first when you first parked the boat that they were just like, okay, these are just the guys watching the boat. It's okay, I'll just walk past them. And then as soon as you walk past one, they both get up to be one behind you and one in front of you. Like they were looking like regular soldiers on patrol, but
yeah. So they're
not.
They stop me, and I am. And Hicks is dressed up as a Leviathan Hunter Captain. He has the hat with the medallion, and he's got the vest, and he's got everything. And he just stares at the one in front of him. As he gets stopped, it's just like he just does the awkward like pause, like, "You're going to say something, sir?" Just like getting him space to, because he was waylaid. So
Yes.
he's waiting for the other person to make the first statement because they waylaid him, a
Mhm.
Leviathan Hunter Captain.
Of course. And he says, I think he just says, we have to search you to make sure you don't have any dangerous possessions on you.
And he puts on his best. I cannot do a
Yeah.
sea captain voice, but in his Hicks's best sea captain voice, it's like, son, I have many dangerous possessions on me.
And you're going to
That
have
is
to
the
leave them
life
on
of
your
a-
boat. Sir.
My whole body's a dangerous possession.
Yeah, it's something like I hunt leviathans. I cannot leave all of my danger behind.
Yeah.
This coat, these muscles, this brain, all dangerous.
Drop the act, Mr. Smog. We know all about your disguise.
Can I attempt to roll sway anyway?
You can, yeah.
Maybe we got the wrong person.
Like, no, I'm the other Leviathan hunter. No, these guys seem to, like, know your plan. Or maybe not everything about it, but definitely
How
your...
would anyone possibly have foreseen Hicks dressing as Leviathan Hunter Captain?
I assume you would have
No.
told the rest of the crew.
No, this is
Yeah.
not. It was show up indiscreetly was our plan and converge.
Okay, that's fair.
They might have known I was taking the boat.
That
That
might
seems-
be it. They probably recognize the
No.
boat.
Yeah, knowing that I'm taking the boat, that seems reasonable. Knowing I was going to reach into my wardrobe for the Leviathan Hunter costume,
Okay.
arguable.
So no, they don't know that you are specifically a Leviathan hunter. They just recognize the boat.
Heavily, yeah. They knew they could have said, yeah, Hicks is taking the boat.
Okay, cool. But
Yeah,
yeah, you can...
either way, even if it's not the best move, I would like to try to sway them with my disguise as Leviathan Hunter Captain in both attitude, spirit, and appearance.
You may. However, this will be desperate, and because they already are sure it's you in a disguise, even if they're even if they don't have proof, or we're told that, no effect by default. You can push that open.
Okay, desperate and no effect.
Yes. Yeah, it would be desperate. It wouldn't be like you get harmed desperate. It'd be desperate in like they just arrest you, or now handcuff you.
Not standard. That would standard and no effect.
Risky, you mean?
Yes, risky and no effect.
Would you consider that risky if they just arrest you?
I think. Well, the desperate. My point is that not that this role won't be desperate, but the bullheadedly instead of taking another tack to make the getaway, I think is desperate, and I guess that makes sense.
Hmm.
No, that's fine. I have a fine cover identity.
That improves it to limited.
Improves the limited.
You could push yourself for effect also.
You're right. I can.
This is true.
Could I possibly? Yeah, I'm gonna. That's a good point. I'm gonna push myself. I don't think I've pushed myself this whole game. I'm gonna push myself.
No wonder you don't have any traumas.
Yes, I'm precious about my stress.
That's great. Okay.
Would
Then-
mesmerism increase the effect?
No,
In this case, it would be they
back
just forget they saw you at all after this.
Mesmerism's how I get out of. Mesmerism's how I get through this situation.
Yeah.
I sway them to yes, I am Leviathan Hunter Captain, and I walk past them, and they say, "Do you remember that Leviathan Hunter Captain? I can't picture his face."
Yeah. This would be like, no, we never saw Hicks if they're questioned later. We literally never saw him. I don't know why his boat's there.
Wait, there he is.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he's
Okay.
just a Leviathan Hunter Captain. Mesmerism's how I walk away from the situation after I make this roll. So
Okay.
this is going to be desperate. We set this. This is going to be
Standard. You've upped it to the standard.
standard effect.
You can't devil's bargain because you push yourself. That's it.
Sway's your best skill. Do it.
That's 5.
You do it.
Okay. I think they look at each other. And I think they're like, all right, you might be a Leviathan Hunter Captain. We see your papers. We don't trust you. And they say, I think one of them realizes Hunter Captains are pretty rich, aren't they?
They're gonna bribe you.
I squinted him.
Surely that boat isn't much to take off for someone like you.
Depends, son. How much do you value those hands of yours?
I'm just saying, if you are threatened an officer of an Imperial officer, I'm going to have to arrest you here and now. But if you're just saying that boat is valuable enough and you really appreciate our service and you'd like to gift us that boat, then we'd be happy to let things go.
That seems a fair bargain. but
You're a fair
you
man.
ask that you leave the name of your commanding officer so I can get a receipt for my donation to your squad.
Tax deductions.
Sure. He writes it down for you.
I will leave the keys with him after I get my receipt.
No, that's not how this is gonna work, Captain. I'll take the keys now. You don't
I
need
don't
to.
think this boat has keys, to be honest with you.
Sorry, you don't
I
think
don't
it.
think the boat has keys.
Oh, okay.
Most boats don't have keys.
That's fair. Okay, so then never mind.
Yeah, it's not like a. Do we decide if it has a motor?
It just has a motor, I think. Yeah, and you just keep it
I
tied
think
up.
it does.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
But I don't know if are keyed motors a thing in Duskwall, or is it just motor?
I leave it to you. If whatever access they need to the boat they wanted.
Yeah, there's no key or anything.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, if you give
boat.
them the boat, they let you pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give the boat. I take down the name of their commanding officer, who I will send a bill to
Okay.
later.
And lastly,
Bill for one boat, please.
Zayde, are you and Phoenix get up when the soldiers rush you from below?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So they don't offer even one chance to arrest. They rush upstairs and immediately start pointing, like kneeling, pointing, and shooting their guns.
Jesus.
You are the Phoenix. Not only are you like as yourself like the face for insurgency, but also during the year downtime, you started a group using your symbol, who you represent, to specifically fight back against the Empire. You are probably the #1 other hit list in the city right now.
That's fair.
No.
I parkour out of it.
Important question. When they tell him to like stop in the name of the law, do they yell Phoenix?
The
Or do they yell Zaid?
they yell Phoenix.
Or insurgent. Do they know it's specifically Zaid and not the other ones? Or is it just
I don't-
here insurgent?
If they're all the other of the Risen also dress up as the Phoenix.
Yeah. So you want to just
Parkour.
jump off the roof, parkour down, parkour away. Okay.
Yes.
This is, I think, just to to dodge the gunshots, not their pursuit.
No, the Phoenix acts first.
I have reflexes. I act first
The Phoenix
before
goes
they even
first.
start
There's no
shooting at me.
gunshots to dodge.
Okay.
He sees them, he gets out.
So that brings
I
this
go,
only to
"Yeet."
risky. Yes, you act first. They don't you act first before they do that.
Still get shot, but
Shot at.
you get shot at, but it's only risky. Not, I think that helps. It's not desperate. And your effect here is, if your attempt is to get away from them entirely, I would say, if that's what we're bargaining for, I don't think it is. You're just trying to get off of the rooftop and away from gunfire range. I guess, what are you
I'm
trying
to
do
get away
by?
from them. So if that's like on ground level, if it's like in a building, like if I parkour through a window, I'm all game for that. However, to get out of this clusterfuck of a situation.
I think
Fair.
line of fire would be limited, and out of sight is standard, and like hidden from detection is great.
I think that's exactly what it would be. So limited effect by default.
Okay, what if I do a little thing called a Superman jump?
You just jump down to
over
the
a building.
I jump farther away with as giant phoenix wings flap me to safety.
That's great. Okay.
Does that increase my effect?
That does increase your effect to standard.
Cool.
So
Desperate, great. Desperate, great.
Desperate, great.
They,
Desperate, great.
This means the fail's worse.
right now, this is risky standard. So I think if you do desperate great, this is probably your
There's
making
so
an
in awe of
impression on them.
me.
You're like intentionally staying in their line of sight with your wings drawn out and like making a statement to them. Yeah, exactly like that. And then you dive backwards
You go, "Caw!"
Yeah, and they-
fall out the
yeah,
window
Desperate
backwards
Crate-
and you swoop up.
If they don't you are making yourself a target to them, but they might not shoot you due to their awe.
Yes, I'm so in for the theatrics. He jumps up like he's diving off the building. As he flips them the bird, his like ethereal wings pop out as he flies backward.
That's great.
So dumb.
So desperate, great, and then I get +1 die for Daredevil, plus another die for what does
For
extreme effect look like? Actually,
I think in this
Convert them to
case,
your-
I convert them.
no, it doesn't. I think in this case, extreme effect.
A few of them don't leave this room.
Are they too
Shoot as you
scared to
go?
follow me?
I
They're too
think
scared to keep looking for
that
me.
whole squad. No, they are too scared to keep looking for you, and that whole squad basically gets court-martialed for just not shooting the Phoenix when they had a clear opportunity.
I'll
No,
take
not
the
court
extra
martial.
die.
They're shot as traitors.
Yeah, never mind. You're right. They get killed later on because they didn't
I'll
shoot
take
you when they had the
extra
chance.
die.
You don't
I
want
will-
the
I don't want their blood on my hands. I want their blood directly on my hands, not indirectly.
Yeah,
that's weird.
you want their blood on your hands, not someone else's hands.
Yeah. Going for it. That's a crit.
We got that extreme effect
Jesus.
anyways.
Oh no, if he doesn't want them to die at court
Oh,
martial.
No, you don't.
So no, I
Pick some other interesting thing.
the way I'm thinking of it, like, how many of these guys were charging at the Phoenix?
How many did you say? Like 6?
Probably the same amount of. Actually, it would have been the same amount as Adric.
12?
Yeah, about 12.
Okay, so like they rush towards you as you like leap off the back.
They
And, like-
fall off the building?
Yeah, the guys in the back don't stop in time and they push the ones in the front off.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they don't
oh.
they don't all die, but there's only like
don't
3
think
left who are
I don't
taking back, who are standing back with guns, and they're the ones
Taking it-
watching in awe at what you just do. Oh.
That's so bad.
So there's a horrible accident where several people are either dead or seriously injured.
Seriously injured.
Crushed on the falling people they landed on.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone looks up, sees the Phoenix flapping away.
So I guess we will do episode 21.
Yes, and
Mhm.
finish this off.
Well, we've
As our
all gotten
opening-
ourselves
So,
into the crowd.
We
other
got
than
one roll per
engagement roll,
character.
things have been okay. The only other bad roll was resisted.
Yeah,
Resisted.
one
So
roll in, and we have used a bunch of stress and lost our boat.
Didn't you make them forget about that?
Now that
they forgot your face. They didn't forget that they got your boat.
Wait,
Yeah, they don't.
they
don't
forget
they
they
got the
forget
boat.
it's your boat.
Yes,
Yeah,
they just
forget
have a
whose
boat.
boat they took.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
imagine if there's no keys, there's a lock on the chain that what you use to tie it to the dock that you just give them the keys for.
Something like that.
Yeah, the thing specifically, the thing they forget is that Hicks convinced them that he was a Leviathan hunter captain.
Mhm.
So that's the part that's the hole in their memory. So they just will brain fill in the gaps. But after that, they
Yeah.
got a boat.
They're like, oh, I don't
So
remember his
definitely
face. It was
something-
generic. It was a
Not really
Leviathan hunter
something-
captain guy.
Some captain gave us his boat after we bullied him.
I'm sure he had
That's
an
what
eye
they were
patch.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a big beard.
Yeah, I think he had a
It
big
was
beard.
like a little bit hanggy, and he adjusted it in the middle of this conversation.
Yeah. Hanging beard syndrome. It's a thing that you get from Leviathan hunting for so long.
Alopecia's rough.
Okay.
Restless beard.
So you guys have all escaped into the crowd successfully. Let's do end of session now, and next session we'll start off with you guys meeting up, and
Okay.
then we will see. We'll probably end everything next session. If we have time, we'll also do the review. I don't know if we'll have time next session to do the review. We'll see.
We'll see.
Okay. So end of session means XP. That's what we're doing. Let's start with the Union's XP, because the Union's back and now it's getting XP after a year.
It's back, baby.
All right, so revolutionary.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
And after us.
Actually, I have to pause there. Revolutionary requires Hicks to attack the government or nobility.
You're right. I haven't attacked anyone yet. All I've done is avoid. That's fair.
Yeah. So no
Adric,
revolutionary
good
yet.
thing. Yeah.
All right.
Next time.
Adric,
It matters the most.
Adric did not get payback against someone who harmed you yet. I'm sure Adric will remember the
so.
face of that sergeant who shot you.
Should have gone and punched Sawtooth. It took us all over there to punch him.
Honestly, I'm
That's how we farm XP. We get Adric mad at someone and we all go over
You
and beat
waited a
them up.
whole year and a half to tell me someone stole my blood.
I'm actually currently regretting not punching you because that would have been more helpful for me on the other side. Oh,
Right.
well.
Fair.
Okay. Did you acquire product supply? Execute. No,
Let's
none of
move on.
that.
Just keep going. Contend with challenges above your current station.
Yes.
Yes.
Bolster crew's bolster crew's reputation or develop a new
Yeah.
one.
We are
Okay,
driven.
so
We
all of
are-
us got out of that.
I
Yes.
would like to argue we are both driven and a new reputation back with a bag.
Yeah,
That could be
we got out of
explosive.
that in an incredibly showy way. Every single one of us.
I think driven and theatrical.
Theatrical. Yes.
Like throwing a giant box. Like all of you guys did your thing in your own extreme styles. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no one
Stylish. Actually, no, I call it stylish, not theatrical.
Yeah, no one ever expects someone to
Stylish.
pull the old sea captain maneuver.
Yep. Okay.
Stylish. All right.
So 2
goals,
XP for
drives,
that.
inner conflict, and essential nature.
Say
Yeah,
dose.
too.
At least one.
Goes there.
We worked on it. We did the things.
Yeah, there was
We
lots
did,
of stuff
we
with
did
that.
all the things. All right, we're 3 away from the next advance that
That's
won't
all we
help us
need.
all.
I just
You
need
get a new boat.
advance. I don't care about
Someone
what
mark
we
off the boat. Remove the boat. It's been taken.
Remove the boat.
The boat is gone.
say. Whatever. I just want to take the next advance so I can have my full stash box and I can win Blades in the Dark.
Yes, that's how you win Blades in the Dark, obviously.
No, it's the only goal you have is to retire comfortably. I would like to win Blades in the Dark.
The funny part is,
That
I'm not
happens
actually
when I
entirely
do
sure
run
you're
away.
wrong. I can't really refute you. Zaid, XP.
Address a challenge of tracking or violence. Would you count that last thing as violence in
I am very unsure. Honestly, I'll let you figure it out. I'll let you get to decide. I don't
think I directly
I don't think you did
No,
address
it
it with
violence.
violence. Violence happened, but it was all they did to
Yeah.
themselves.
That's fair. I don't think I
Mayhem
get anything for that.
Mayhem happened. I wouldn't even classify that as violence.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
mayhem might be the right way to put it.
I didn't track anyone and I didn't do any Wait, hold on. No, I didn't roll for it.
Do
Because
what?
she told me where she was. What's her face? The Scotland refugee lady.
Oh yeah, no, you didn't have to for her because you guys were.
I didn't
already-
have to track her, but-
You're +3 with the refugees.
Yeah.
So.
So 0 there. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck the cops and military. And I'm the Phoenix bitch.
Yeah.
You've been dealing with posers.
You've been dealing
Now
with
you got the real
Robins. This
deal.
is Batman.
Yeah. So 2 there, and the struggles with issues. with
Robin and
device or
Phoenix makes more
traumas.
sense because the Robin isn't a Robin also a red bird? No, that's a cardinal.
R-
What does a Robin
Yes,
look
Robin
like?
the
are
again?
red.
Cardinal's red bird.
Yeah.
Robins
Okay.
are gray with a red chest.
Okay.
I would like to argue reckless for trauma,
Yeah, that's fair.
and then I don't think I hit my vice is like I didn't struggle with it. I brought it up like, oh, is it like divine, like the thing with the lady,
Mhm.
but that's not struggling with it. So
Fair.
just 1.
Okay.
I got 3 XP to put somewhere, and I could put it in insight. Let's do that just to get it filled.
All right. Brian, I'm looking at your old character sheet. Hold on.
Okay, the new one, yeah.
Count Hells.
Yeah.
Countess.
So the first one here is displayed your dominance or slayed without mercy.
Yes.
Certainly 1.
Yes.
I don't know if throwing boxes and charging recklessly into a group of soldiers is displaying your dominance, but
I
Usually swap.
wouldn't call
You-
it that.
You soloed a bunch of military guys with a box. I think that's
Well, they
that's
aren't
a pretty
dead. They were
Dom
just
thing to
distracted,
do.
basically.
Yeah.
But yes.
Avoiding capture is not displaying dominance.
That's fair.
But standing up to Skurlock and basically calling him a coward for cutting and running might be.
That might be.
True. He wasn't really paying attention to that. He was seeing it more as stupidity versus staying. He's
Mm.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about dominance. It only works if someone is dominated.
if someone feels like you are dominant over them. If someone feels, yeah. So
is Skurlock like, I'm out of the job, bye? Like, is that what he just did?
I am leaving at dark.
We still
No,
have
we still get
HPS
the
boxes
Skurlock
from his
flashbacks.
setup. Yeah.
We still get the Skurlock flashbacks, so don't.
You do get the
forget
Skurlock flashbacks. That's true.
Yeah.
Don't forget
All
that
right.
that age
Use
stress.
for dumb stuff to make him do silly things to punish him. Sherlock, go get me something from the grocery store for the mission.
All right. Beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I think I got 2 there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all, yeah.
And struggles with issues from your vice, trauma, or strictures. Not the stricture, because that's not an issue yet.
That as you get more abilities,
Oh, I do have 1. I start with 1.
Okay.
I am bound to this body, and if this body shall die, I am dead.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Many of the Inquisitor stuff is actually meant to take advantage of a vampire's strictures. Luckily, you don't have as many yet.
Yep. And as far as traumas, I mean, yes, obsessed, ruthless, secretive, and cold is what I'm rocking.
Yeah,
Nice.
at least 2 I can think of.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's me.
Sweet. Okay.
All right.
Hicks.
Yep, I did all my desperate actions. I didn't really address any challenges with rhetoric or destruction. I spewed rhetoric at a bar, but I'm going to get back to that later. And I didn't break anything.
You talked your way out of the
Rhetoric is not just talking, though.
Oh, okay.
It's talking about a purpose, about a cause, about a belief.
Yeah.
So that's why there's been all of the horse shit from Hicks. It's because to get XP, I have to prove a point.
Yeah, or like go on a rant or something like that.
Yeah. I don't have to do it well. I just have
Yeah.
to address a challenge.
It's just technically it's just persuasive speaking.
Go up to the
Yeah.
soldiers and try to convince them that they are not just the problem, but also how the boot that they are wearing is also crushing them.
And the solution. They need to only turn their guns towards their master.
Yeah, start doing things like that, and you'll get so much XP and shot.
Yeah, and shot.
Actually, this definition of rhetoric fits Hicks so well. I'm going to put it in chat.
Okay.
Language designed to have a persuasive or impressive effect on its audience, but often regarded as lacking in sincerity or meaningful content.
That's great.
It is the huge political horseshit at a party.
Yep. All right. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I think I got at least one background. I talked about how I stuck it to daddy.
True.
I made a point to tell my crew after a year in prison. I made a point to tell everyone that I stuck it to daddy.
That's true.
Yes. I do believe I struggled with an issue for my vice. I ranted at a bar, and now everyone knows our plan.
Yes. Oh, actually, I would kind of love it better if whoever the spy is never gets.
Actually, a spy.
If whoever the spy is, if there is a spy, never gets out, and it's just Hicks takes that guilt with him. He retires perfectly comfortably, knowing that it's his fault all his friends died.
That's currently the headcanon ending of this campaign.
That's
We'll see
right.
what it
We're
changes.
railroaded right towards that.
Yes, railroaded. That's exactly what I'm doing. Okay. Glad I could work at Roll20 and get them to make that engagement die a 1 for me. It was going to be a 6, they told me, but I changed it.
Yeah, that's roll 1.
I am still convinced you have that button. You realize this, right?
It's a little dialogue box. When you roll a die, you now put in.
Yes. What number would you
Like
like it to
this.
be?
roll 1.
Yes. You just do that, and then it recognizes that I'm now an admin, and it will
Yeah,
show it as a
/R1d6,
D1, not a
result
1.
1. You have the second little comma to put
Exactly.
the result in.
Okay, Adric.
Okay, vengeful? I don't think so, at least not yet. Violence or coercion? I would say violence against the guards there, but I
Mhm.
don't think there was a second one, actually.
Nope, not that I can think
You
of.
commanded the long night shift.
But commanding is
Yeah,
not
you-
That's
coercion.
Yeah, but coercion is kind
Threatening
of like
violence. And I
Mm,
don't think Adric commanded that way.
that's fair.
Yeah, no. Not intentionally, at least. So beliefs drives heritage or background? I'd argue for 2 there. One with playing into the rage essence thing,
Mhm.
and one with getting the money from the silver nails. I want the money back.
That's
So.
true.
Mhm.
I wonder
Conversation
how
with Grind
I
as
wonder
well.
how Adric will feel once he learns about new types of hulls again.
More new types of hulls that I can't fight.
Well, I
Anyway,
mean,
They're not
I
gonna
told
fight
you a
they're for
while ago
vampires.
the Inquisitors were there to buy hulls. That's why they killed Zatara. Or
my
almost killed
war
Zatara.
was so ineffective. They still keep popping up. Anyhow, trauma and vice. Vice didn't really cause any issues this time. It just provided a focus. But traumas, I would kind of play for 2 there, maybe. One would be cold on the conversation with Grind, though I'm not sure how well that one worked. And the other one, paranoid causing troubles, because I did not actively search for the spy despite really wanting to.
But that's not paranoid then, is it?
It
You're
was more
not
a
at
matter
you,
of I
you
was paranoid about it. It was a matter, but I was convinced by other people that okay, we need
It caused a
to move
discussion.
faster.
Yeah,
This
it's
is the point.
it was a struggle.
You're right.
Against your
Okay, it was a
paranoia.
struggle.
Okay, then that's it for me.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
will have some sort of playbook advancement. I don't know what yet.
Mhm.
We will be
You
back
have
next
something
week.
that kills gods because we needed something that kills gods.
I've got one that's utterly useless because I'm out of stress, and
Just to put in my notes, how many Skurlock flashbacks do we get?
You have
Eight.
8 stress from his crits
Basically, we
of
have an 8
his
Skurlock.
year-long
8 piece Skurlock
setup of
farm.
this. If you want to know information, he might have looked it up and found it in the year. If you want to know more about this specific venue, he would have done that closer to.
Okay.
so he would not have acquired my rage essence.
No.
No. He's not
No.
going to buy you drugs.
He would have done stuff
We-
specifically about,
Yeah.
the Lord Governor.
We could possibly flashback to being like, if everything gets screwed immediately, here's plan 2 that only we know about.
Yeah, that
We'll
might be
see.
a real good idea.
Yeah, we'll just see how we'll see how it goes. We'll figure it out.
Oh.
Yep. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. We'll be back next week. We'll see how this goes. We'll talk about it after. Do our review next week after, depending on how things
Well,
go.
it's just going to depend. We'll prep for it, but also depend on the episode goes.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Okay.
can see this still going like 4 hours.
Yeah,
It
we'll
very
see.
well could.
Depends on
The thing
depends
about
on how quickly we'll die.
how the dice rolls go, honestly, like
Hmm.
they might extend things, they might not.
Remember,
Yeah.
ramp up that stress and just trauma out of the situation. You're fine.
Trauma, sure.
I don't think you need to look up the word trauma and get back to it.
I don't think trauma means you're fine. If you trauma out in this situation, I can't guarantee that won't mean you show up later on the stage while she's giving her speech in as example of military control. As like,
Four
we're just going to
stakes in front of the
publicly
thing.
execute. Yeah, we're just going to publicly execute you to show that we're fine. There's no insurgency. We killed it. I'm not saying that will
Oh.
happen. I'm just not
William Wallace
promising it won't. Okay. Thank you for watching. We will be back next week.